Yo, what's poppin', gamers? Real Alpha Game here, guys. All this known as WQQQQWRT. You know who it is. You know what's going on, guys. What's up, gamers? Gamers, I had a game-changing, huge stream today. I got some really ridiculously good parallel worlds runs. Like, this stuff was blowing my mind. Guys, it was so freaking good, but gamers, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, also do all those things. Let's get into these speedruns, guys. Okay, these were nuts. These were crazy. Also, my gameplay is coming together. I'm really gonna be king of the parallel worlds pretty soon, guys. All right, let's jump right in this run. What's body gamers? Gamers, let's start the stream off today with a banger. First run of the day was incredible. You can tell my first split green. Already a lot of green on my split. Second split, also green. Even more green on my powerful, life-changing splits. And guys, this run was a PB. This is actually a new personal best for me, which is huge. I think I've had 8 personal bests in parallel worlds overall. This is one of them. So you'll notice I got a huge time save. 21:54 on Neighbors Bay. Dab. Guys, that's super good. I've been doing really good on parallel worlds both today and the back half of yesterday because I've been taking the game a lot safer and calmer, and I changed up some of my strategies, and they're making my gameplay way lubed up. It's super huge, and we're going to see exactly why yesterday, where I did not PB yesterday, and I did 5 runs that all choked, why that was so valuable and so powerful, because today I PB'd, and I also played pretty good after that. We're going to see exactly why, but a lot of that is build off directly what happened yesterday. So on my PB during the Landmo fight, in Din's Catacombs is incredibly hard. It's the 3rd dungeon you do. The first dungeon being the guardhouse, the second one being Nehru's Bay. Din's Catacombs is the 3rd one, and the difficulty really ramps up on this dungeon because you have to do this fight right at the start of the dungeon, like immediately, and you can tell I actually died. And this was a PB, so I actually died on this run. Now this death, since the fight is right at the beginning, I lost about 50 seconds, maybe a minute on this death, which isn't too bad. But what that does is it means that the run is irreparable. It can't be a god run. There's just no way with a 50-second death. So my Ice Rod and Fire Rod segment, which was really, really good. Guys, in Ice Rod and Fire Rod in this, it's really interesting. I don't think a lot of people realize like why it works. And I don't really realize this either too much because I just got into Parallel Worlds. But I realized what's going on with the Ice Rod and the Fire Rod. I think I'm going to make a tutorial, kind of a mini tutorial explanation for what's going on in Parallel Worlds any percent. Parallel Worlds any percent is actually a really crazy run. But gamers, before that, I want to address this strategy change right here. So if you're watching the game, I actually got kind of damaged a lot. Like I got down to 1 heart and I had to farm HP. And I tried going into the gate front and I was getting blocked out. And I'm like, well, what do I do? If you slash, those turrets actually attack you. These turrets aren't random. They always attack you when you slash. I decided I want to kill this guy with bushes. Well, that was kind of dumb. The bombs weren't doing a whole lot. You don't actually have enough bushes to even kill him. Like I would have to pull out more bushes than they give you, and then I missed with the bush. Like there's no way I'm gonna kill this guy. So I figured, all right, let's go to the right side. But check this out. I have 1 heart. How am I supposed to get in the gate? I can't slash the front of the gate. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what do I do? I actually tried looking for another heart. I couldn't find one. I actually ended up dying here, and I lost a ton of time. And this right here inspired me to create another strategy change, which I thought was pivotal. It was absolutely pivotal for my Parallel Worlds gameplay. This is what I did the second time. So I dashed in, I literally just walked up, took damage from the guy, and slashed and got in the front. That strategy is insane. That's incredibly safe. It's basically the same speed as the old strategy. It's 100% consistent. And it always works if you have 2 hearts. That's huge because if I have 1.5 heart, I have a 100% chance of getting inside there. And once you get inside this building, dying is less punishing and there's a lot of backup hearts. So finding that strategy was huge. Unfortunately, I did die, so I was only minus 46 seconds instead of where I could be, which was minus 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Later on, I actually made another really critical error. I want to get full magic meter in here, because if I can get full magic meter in here, then I'm going to be able to have more magic in Parallel Tower, and I'm going to be better off. So I actually tried killing one of the skeletons, and when you kill the skeletons, the massive eye laser at the top, he actually projectiles you, and then you die, which is a pretty big time loss. Now, it's actually pretty close to the start of the dungeon, and I don't have to do the Armos fight again. That's critical, because in this run, you have a limited number of arrows, and the arrows are essential for the run. So if you ever die and you have to redo an Armos fight, your run's pretty much over. But for some reason, this first Armos fight, and this is intentional, they actually leave this screen and they go to the bottom screen. so you don't have to redo the fight. That is essential for this run because I am low on arrows, and you're going to see like why later on. But yeah, what happened was since I died on the last time, I kind of realized I think killing these guys and farming them for items is a mistake. Now I get the items right here, so it's like that's what I was trying to get in the first place. But I think it's a critical mistake. I was a whole 2 seconds ahead going into Parallel Tower. Parallel Tower is pretty good. We actually ended up getting some really good Parallel Tower segment and Ganon segment, and I ended up getting a pretty solid PB. Yeah, my NPB was actually a 1:13:37, which is a pretty sick number. I was also exactly plus 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the world record. So this run was actually kind of a sick meme, all wrapped in one. God fucking damn it, dude. Alright, well, PB, dude. I'll take it, dude. I'll take it, dude. That fight's hard as fuck, dude. Alright, dude, I'm happy, pretty happy that this run I lost like 4 minutes on. I'm happy I PB'd, but I lost like over 4 minutes this run, and I'm 4 minutes and 20 seconds off the world record. Dad. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to get world records. I'm not trying to get good PBs that could be world records, so let's fire up another run, guys. My second run was nowhere near as good as the first run. I'm plus 11 seconds after Bracelet, which is brutal. Now, the thing with that is that the last one was incredible in the beginning. So if I'm kind of behind in the bit and I died on the last run, I'm totally fine. And actually, gamers, it totally paid off because I was minus 39 after getting the Bracelet, which is game changing. And then the Ice Rod segment was actually pretty good too. So after Bracelet and Ice Rod, I'm ahead minus 40 seconds. And I thought this run was the blessed run. I'm like, all right, let's go. We got to run in locked in gamers. And I want to show you guys something epic. I picked up on this last run. This strategy is game changing. Right there, that completely changed my outlook on this whole run. Getting in there was a 50-50. Sometimes I would die, sometimes I wouldn't. It was awful. And not only that, I had to be really careful about the overworlds because I always needed 4 hearts. And on top of that, Drager fight is possible. But you know, I'm dabbing on the Drager fight. But the thing is, with that strategy, I'm always getting inside Drager's castle, no issue. So I don't care about the overworld anymore. I don't care about Drager's castle anymore. And Drager, you know what? Drager, you're old news, dude. I'm way better than you, dude. So Drager's castle is, for me, kind of solved. I'm super happy about that. And it even paid off more in this run. This run is nuts. Minus 2 minutes and 37 seconds after Drager's castle. 37-21 Drager's castle. I'm plus 19 on world record. World record, I can save a ton of time in Parallel Tower and Ganon. So this run is actually locked in for world record. It's my first run really going into Parallel Tower that was ahead of world record. I'm actually minus 8 seconds going into Parallel Tower on world record. I can save 1 to 2 minutes in the next few segments. So like, all right, let's go, gamers. Unfortunately, a really silly mistake happened. And if you notice one thing, I'm not using the Cane of Berna, and I'm kind of low on magic. And I got some pretty bad RNG. Remember I was talking about those turrets yesterday are like the worst things in this game? Yeah, that's exactly why. Those turrets are like my mortal enemy. But yeah, I actually wasn't using the Cane of Berna there. The Cane of Berna, the item in my inventory on the top right, it actually makes you completely invincible. It's kind of essential for this game. Usually use in that fight. The thing is it burns your magic, and so you can't use it infinitely. The reason I wasn't using it is because my magic is super low. Now, why is my magic so low? We're gonna have to rewind a little bit. So we're back here at Darunia's Caverns. And gamers, remember last run how I actually died in Darunia's Caverns? I have an 8 minute and 34 second my PB. Yeah, I was trying to farm these guys for the fairy and magic drop. A full magic and a fairy drop, and they're both up next. So I'm like, yes. So I tried killing these. Unfortunately, I didn't get any drops. Like, they dropped no drops. And when they do that, guess what happens? You run out of magic. On top of that, you lose magic for wasting your time on these dudes. There's my fairy, but I was looking for the magic, and I didn't get the magic. Unfortunately, that's really punishing because the magic's really important in the beginning of beginning of Parallel Tower. It's so essential. And me wasting all this magic and time trying to get an item that I don't get was a critical error. So that was a huge mistake. Going back to Parallel Tower, the problem with this game, if you fall in this tower, you have to redo everything since when you fell. So fortunately, I don't have to redo Moldorm or Landmo, but I do have to redo Moldorm and I have to redo all the other screens. So it's about a 50-second time loss. Actually, we can figure out exactly the time loss in this. I got my first hit at 2 minutes and 24 seconds and 0.23 on the segment timer right here. So let's see when I got my next first hit on Moldorm. 3 minutes, 8 seconds, 0.71. So that only lost 45.5 seconds. That's not that bad in hindsight, but at the time I was pretty frustrated because the odds of me getting world record on this were pretty low. The dungeon actually ended up being okay. I was only plus 28 seconds exiting Parallel Tower going into the Ganon fight, which is kind of a toss up. First of all, you can save time on the world record Ganon fight, so on that sense, I was ready to PB and get a world record. Problem is that saving 30 seconds in the Ganon fight for me is really hard because I'm kind of new to this game still, and the Ganon fight's an 8-minute long fight. Like, it's super difficult, so I wasn't 100% confident on this fight. On the bright side, I was ready for a free PB. Me getting a PB here would be freaking epic. I even went for this crazy clutch double spin. That saves 12 seconds. One problem with that, though, is now I have 1 heart. I can't get hit by anything on Ganon. And we're going to see something that was just mind-blowing. So on Ganon's most notorious phase, Phase 4, this phase is ridiculous. Ganon actually has 5 phases. In regular Link to Past, Ganon has 4 phases. So in this version, his first phase is completely cut out, and you have to do it twice. And then the phase where the floor tiles fall, they can't fall twice. So that's why there's 5 phases. On this notorious phase, for being incredibly difficult, something super unfortunate happened. I can't get hit at all. So I'm going through the fight and I dodged these Rhino Fire Bats. That was so clutch. And then I died out of nowhere. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what happened? I look back at the VOD and you can see me very narrowly dodge this Fire Bat right here. This is such a clutch dodge. Problem is, I probably should have pulled out the Cane of Burna because Ganon's Fire Bat spawned almost exactly on top of me. I had 4 frames of inactivity. Here's the first frame. Here's the second frame. The third frame, and I died on the 4th frame of this Fire Bat. That's crazy. It's barely even touching me. This is nuts. So there's pretty much no way I could have predicted this other than me understanding that I needed to be higher. I was way too low. I should have been higher. And that's very interesting, but oh well, not much I can do about it. Run's over. Anyway, gamers, I have a pretty locked in PB, so you know what? Let's go for run number 3. Let's do it, guys. Already PB'd today. I'm not trying to get too greedy, but look at my gameplay, guys. I'm playing like a monster. I'm playing out of my mind. So we go into run number 3. I get a crazy good sword segment. Now, I've been saying I'm trying to play this game way safer than I normally play because this game is so punishing. You don't want to make any mistakes. The reason I'm constantly like minus 2 minutes, minus 3 minutes, you always die in this game. And if you could just get a run that's not very good, but you don't die, it's going to be miles better than the competition. Simply because the dying and the running out of bombs is so punishing. It's so crazy how punishing that is. So I've been playing like super crazy safe, and it's really paying off. Unfortunately, playing safe has some problems, like losing 10 seconds in Neighbor's Bay. And then on top of that, I lost so much time in Bracelet. If you look at my splits, I'm at minus 35 on Bracelet, which is really good. I'm ahead, but it's actually not a very good segment. I died in my PB, and I'm only minus 35. And Ice Rod, okay, I'm minus 30, that's good, but I lost 6 seconds there on a split that's not optimized. So I actually lost a lot of time from playing safe, which honestly I'm super down with because we're going to see exactly why you want to get your runs to the end and just get them to the end. Nothing else matters. I'm going into Drager, and this is like, I used to think it was the hardest part of the run. Right now, I actually think Ganon is harder. Or maybe any screen with these turrets. But I think Drager is still really, really hard. Part of the reason this Drager fight is so difficult is because Drager has a very low chance of actually shooting an attack that you can reflect and damage him back. He has 16 different spawn patterns, but the ones at the top I can't really do damage to him on. The only attacks I can actually damage him on are the ones at the bottom and the middle. Every second, third, and fourth attack is actually something that can be called a blue ball, and you can't damage him when he does a blue ball. So you have a 50% chance to damage Ganon at all, and then you have a 1 or 2 out of 3 chance he goes to a correct position. So the odds of getting a good fight are like 11 out of 25, 1 out of 25. I meant to say 11 out of 256. Wait a minute, gamers. Let's rewind. That fight was crazy. Yeah, if you were paying attention to this fight, I actually got a perfect fight, a perfect Drager fight, which is ridiculous. Like, I actually never thought this would happen. I thought it would never happen. I looked at the numbers. Drager has 16 spawn patterns. The top 5 spawn patterns at the top, you actually can damage him on, but I don't go for them because, in my opinion, it's too difficult. And I only have 4 hearts. So I purposely don't go for those. So only 11 out of the 16 patterns I can do damage to him at all. Aghanim, also known as Draegr in this game, he does 5 different attacks, that's his cycle, and then he starts a new cycle. The first attack in a cycle is always an energy ball. You can always reflect this and always damage him. You need to get 6 hits. So worst case scenario, you're going to kill him with this attack. Attacks 2, 3, and 4, it's going to be a 50% chance of an energy ball which damages him, or a blue ball ring, which does no damage to him and actually can damage you. That's the problem. The 5th attack is a lightning cycle, which is massive damage to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. What this means, if you get really good RNG, you're going to kill him in 7 hits. 1 guaranteed hit, 3 50-50 hits. You can't do anything about the lightning hit. And then 6 and 7 are going to be a guaranteed hit and a 50-50 hit. You have to win 4 coin flips for this, so it's a 1 out of 16 chance of getting 0 blue balls. On top of that, since I only have a 11 out of 16 chance that I can damage him at all, if you multiply that, it's actually a 11 out of 256 chance that this fight is possible at all, which is a roughly 1 out of 25. 4% chance that this fight's even possible, that's super clutch for me. For me to capitalize on it, I'm so blessed. Thank God. This is huge though, because it saves an incredible amount of time. In fact, it saves so much time that any time loss I had in the last 2 segments was completely made up. I ended up being in my best run ever coming out of Draegr. And actually, this is the best Draegr fight dungeon ever done in this game. Like, this Draegr dungeon is incredible. On top of that, I'm pretty sure this is the best run ever out of Lightworld. 36-32. I don't think there's ever been a run that good out of Lightworld. The overworld segment was incredible. Like, this run was a godsend. Like, this is a 107 pace. I'm way ahead of the world record. I'm minus a minute on the world record. I can save a minute in this dungeon and a minute on Ganon. Unfortunately, guys, I can't believe this happened. What is wrong with this room? Oh my god, dude. What is going on with this room? I've lost 3 runs to this screen, and it's the same thing every time. It's the turret every single time. When I said the real final boss of this dungeon is the turret, I said it for a reason. This turret causes so many problems. It is crazy. I have almost no idea what I'm supposed to do about this. I actually came up with a strategy recently. I think what I need to do is after killing Moldorm, or during killing Moldorm, I'm actually going to blow up that right wall and then just come back later and I can just walk around the turret and I don't have to pick up a bomb. The problem with this, when you pick up the bomb, that's when the turret hits you. There's no way to predict that. Like, there's absolutely nothing you can do. So I think just killing or opening the wall up while Moldorm is on the screen is probably a better idea, even if it loses a ton of time, since it's so much safer and more consistent. I think I'm going to try to do that in the future. Now, I got pretty stressed out by this mistake, because this was a god run on top of a god run. Like, this is such a nuts run. I actually made a lot of mistakes in Parallel Tower, but at the end of it all, it was pretty decent. Yeah, I ended up only losing in 33 seconds, which is pretty good. I lost a lot more time on that Moldorm fall. If we want to calculate exactly how much time I lost on this fall, let's look at when I placed the bomb. So I placed the bomb at 3:14.1. I then fell in the hole. And let's go back to in the VOD when I placed the bomb again. So I placed the second bomb at 3:58.91. That means I lost 44.8 seconds. So basically 45 seconds. Now that's actually really cool because I lost 31 seconds on the split. That actually means that would have been a gold Parallel Tower without just that mistake, which is nuts because Draegr was gold and her Parallel Tower was gold. And it was already a really good run before that. So that mistake was brutal. And it basically made you had a run that was a absolute god run shattered by this crazy mistake. Now on the Ganon fight, I got some really bad RNG, but I've been practicing this fight a lot lately, and I actually was able to clutch it out barely in the most minor way possible. So I actually did PB this run, but I want to go over the mistakes that happened. This phase right here is what tripped me up so badly. I needed to damage Ganon before this right torch goes out, and he actually materializes when my sword finishes charging. The torch goes out the next frame. Like, look at this in frame advance. This is 1 frame. This is the next frame. Wow, dude. This is the second phase of Ganon. Now, I wouldn't have really been able to react anyway, but I do try to spin a few frames later, and I can't hit him with the spin. The issue with that is he spawns these fire. And then here's the other huge problem. First of all, I'm going to die in 1 hit. Second of all, it's really hard to actually get these spins on if you get slightly bad RNG. Because right here, he's about to materialize again, and I have no torches up. So right here, I can't go for those, even though he just materialized. And then, of course, he warps. And then I missed another spin, and then he warps again. and then he warps again, and the torch goes out. And now I have to light the torches, but he materializes, which means the fire's on the screen. So finally I get hidden. Problem with that is I lost so much time on this split because he kept warping when the torches would go out. Brutal time loss. Here's another example of this happening. Like, what is going on with the RNG? Now, I did get a 0 blue ball Drager fight. I can't be too mad. And I did get through the fight, so, you know, at the end of the day, I'll take it. On the 4th phase of Ganon, I specifically practiced this. You can do this really sick strategy where you actually spin him, you hit the corner, and if you repress B when you're in the middle of your spin, you actually regain your sword without slashing. You have to recharge it, but you don't have to slash. And so you can get an extra spin on, which is so useful for this fight because you have to spin him 21 times. And every time between the spins, you have to light these torches and dodge these fire bats. You can usually only get 3 spins. If you do that strategy, you can actually get 4 or 5 spins. I opted to go for 4 spins because the 5 spin strategy, well, if we look back on my old runs, I actually died on that strategy. The last phase, it was hit and miss. It wasn't the most wholesome split in the world, but if you'll notice something, guys, the very bottom of my splits, it says world record comparison. Yeah, this run's actually over. Like, this was actually a world record. I was so excited, thrilled, and surprised that we got a world record on this run. No part of me believed that this would be a world record with what happened at the beginning. I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think the parallel tower mistake and the slow Ganon was good enough. But the perfect Dragor and the practice I've been putting in lately and the runs I've been doing, it all paid off. We finally got the world record in parallel worlds any percent. Like, this is so huge for me. We freaking did it, guys. Are you kidding me, man? God, my heart is beating. This run isn't even good, man. It was good. It was really good before parallel tower, but you just can't see it's good at the parallel tower. But hey, you know what? We finally did it. I'm shocked I did it. Honestly, I'm surprised. Yeah, it's actually a legit world record, dude. I'm so shocked I did that. I'm super happy I finally got it, dude. Yo, Mark, thanks for the tier 1, dude. That's 15-month streak, too, dude. Appreciate it so much, man. That's ridiculous. Ease, dude. That is nuts, dude. This game is ridiculous if you speedrun it, guys. It is brutal, dude. It just drives you nuts, man. So I want to give a big shout out to everyone watching my videos. Everybody supporting me on stream. Everybody watching the videos. Everybody who loves Parallel Worlds. Like, this is so huge for me. Next, we're actually going to be moving on to all dungeons, Parallel Worlds, which is basically no major glitches, any percent. You pretty much have to beat the dungeons. In any percent, we don't do any of the dungeons. We do the first 2, but other than that, we do no of the dungeons because you can skip them. It's much faster. It takes like an hour. And the game's way harder, but so it's kind of fun to do the dungeons. So Parallel Worlds All Dungeons is going to be my next speedrun. And then we're going to go back to Light World All Dungeons and then 100%, which should only take 1 or 2 runs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to vote on my next speedrun that we're trying to get every Link to the Past speedrun world record. Yo, gamers. So we're on my spreadsheet for my world records. I'm trying to get every world record. This is actually the very first category on my spreadsheet that I actually got world record for. And we're going to change this live. So I got a 108.41. And actually that means we can replace the current world record with that and then put a date down as well. And that is 01/08/2020. Huge shout out to everybody watching. Also, it means we're going to change this color to green. That's freaking amazing. So yeah, next we're moving on to all dungeons. The world record is the 201.22. We're going to try to get that. It should take, I hope it's a week. Might take longer, might take shorter. Who knows? Yo guys, thanks for watching my video, gamers. Make sure to rise up with me, guys. We're going to win. Make sure to subscribe. Parallel Worlds has been a lot of fun lately. I've been playing Link to the Past since 2013. I love playing this game. I love speedrunning it. For some reason, me speedrunning this game, it's perfect. I feel so good when I'm running it. I'm actually pretty good at it too. Like, I love speedrunning it. And I wanted to get some of my runs out there and get some ideas out there. So I'm really happy making these videos. I hope you guys like them too. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure you have a great day. Make sure to feel good about yourself. Feel empowered. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys get some really great speedruns in. And if you want to start running Parallel Worlds, or you're interested in that, because I know some people are interested, I kind of want to make a simple tutorial or a simple explanation of like what's going on with Parallel Worlds, some fun facts, some things you should know. So that way when you watch one of my PB VODs or watch somebody else play the game, you can get some understanding. You get some context for a lot of the strategies. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Also, gamers, I wanted to give a super huge shout out to people in my stream for subscribing and donating bits. You guys are basically making these videos possible, so I really appreciate that. Magnificent resubscribed tier 1 for 15 months in a row. That's 15 months total. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. I6502 used 2020 bits. Party 2020. Thank you for the 2020 bits. You really appreciate that. Also, I6502 gifted a tier 1 subscriber to Aghanim. That's for 3 months. Really appreciate that, dude. That means a lot to me. Also, thanks for the follows, everybody. And I really appreciate everybody subscribed and resubscribed on Twitch. Helps me out a lot. Really appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow.